Qualifier number 4, the first round, and guys, I am excited. This is going to be absolutely awesome. We have more and more teams signing up now for the X Cup Summer Qualifiers. It's the 4th qualifier out of 10, and today we have the Donuts, and we actually have even some American participation over here. Cure is playing for the Donuts. He's one of the subs listed on the website, and he is the only American that dares every now and then to play cross server. So big round of applause for him. Cure, awesome guy. In the days of HGC and mid-season brawls and everything, I met him obviously multiple times, and the man is absolutely fantastic. He is great to hang out with, so big shout out to Cure here. Playing with the delay, obviously, that he's going to experience here. So yeah, the Donuts in their first qualifier. It's qualifier number 4. It's the first time that they participate in the qualifiers here. We have them going up in the first round against Team Ash. This is obviously still a best of 1. Best of 3s start at the semifinals and in the grand final. This obviously is only true for the qualification tournaments. Once that we're heading into the playoffs of the X Cup Summer, things will change a little bit. And if you're a little bit unfamiliar with the system, a quick reminder here, the teams gather points in every single qualifier depending on how well they perform. How far do they go in the tournament? Do they win the entire thing? Do they come 2nd, 3rd, 4th, whatever it is? They get points. These points will be accumulated, and at the end of the 10 qualifiers, at the end of the regular season, the top 8 make it into the playoffs, where they will play for 4,000 euros of prize money. Yeah, and there's also another announcement that I think we can throw out here right now, because the X Cup Summer is partnering up with Hightech and Meta Madness. There's going to be another Meta Madness at the end of the X Cup Summer season after the playoffs, and the top 4 teams of the X Cup Summer will directly qualify for Meta Madness. 4 more teams will be determined through qualifiers. I'm going to talk about a lot more of that in just a bit. For today, we're focusing, of course, here on qualifier number 4, but already more good things to come. So even more tournaments here in Europe. Now, we have obviously a couple of things already shaping up. Ignoring the bans just for a second, the first thing that happened here is that Zagara got actually ignored and Vala taken as a first pick on the side of Nenopi. And then we had the Donuts coming in with Zagara right away. Now, Zagara is a really interesting hero right now. Obviously, before the patch, she was a little bit trashy. A couple of players were trying to make her happen. Never really worked out for them. But now we have Zagara after the patch in continuously a first pick position, oftentimes a ban position. And in this case, she made it to the first pick setup on the side of the Donuts, who locked her in together with Stukov, so they're going full Zerg right now. At least initially. Then again, for the opposition, we have Vala, Malfurion, and Blaze. And you kind of need to keep in mind, this is a best of 1. So Team Ash has performed incredibly well throughout the tournament. I think they're number 3, number 4 right now in the standings, something along those lines. So this is not a pushover team that the Donuts go up against. They, of course, are still incredibly strong and powerful. So we'll see if they can win this best of 1 and then move on to the next round. But whichever team loses here is not participating in the tournament any longer, at least in the qualifier. They're not getting any points, so they are out for the day. And that's the big risk here. So already a really high caliber game as we are starting into all of this. But at the same time, we now have Maiev banned out. We also got the ban on Uther with the double pick coming in. It's also a question of what is Cure going to play. Cure, again, is playing the account Monka S today. Rutsu is playing the account Bang, in case that you were not familiar with his Smurf here. And here comes Dehaka, so Cure is going to play on the global. And I gotta admit, I haven't seen that on Battlefield for a long time. Now, if you are Heroes of the Storm veteran, if you're old school, then you remember the days where Dehaka was played on Battlefield of Eternity continuously. And one of the thought processes behind that was that when the second objective starts, because you have Dehaka, you can stay on lane a little bit longer and you get the early level 10, and then you join the fight. So that was always a huge part of this. But since then, we had so many patches, so many things have changed in Heroes, that doesn't quite apply anymore. So Dehaka has fallen off significantly on this map for a long time. But today, we have him. And on the other side, we got Tyrael and we got Genji. So with all of that, we have a pretty nice setup. We have Tyrael and Blaze, the double layer of defense here, obviously, unless they want to go into Judgment, which technically is possible now. Tyrael players oftentimes still pick that Sanctification, but now you can pick Judgment. There's a lot of insta-gip comms where you just try to snipe a target. Technically, with an extra Genji, that would be possible. Maybe a bit unlikely, but we'll see. And on the other side, Lauber, last but not least, with ETC. The cow is in the house, everybody, and we are ready for game number 1 of the day, the Donuts, against Team Ash in the 4th qualifier for the X-Cup Summer. Team Ash against the Donuts when Battlefield of Eternity in our best of 1. And on the left side, Farlander on Genji, Renella on Valfurion. We got Nenopi on Vala, Murenas on Blaze, and Shamsek is playing Tyrael in game... Well, I was going to say game number 1. It's technically game number 1 of the tournament, but obviously this is the best of 1. Now, on the right side of the map, the Donuts, the first time that they're playing in the X-Cup Summer qualifiers. We have Rutsu on his account Bang playing Hanzo, Lauba is on ETC, Cure is playing cross-server from the US. He's playing the Haka on the account Monka S. We got Skok on Zagara, and Ixia is playing Stukov. All right. Let's go and see which team takes the lead here. We have a 5-man, by the way, at the bottom of the map. Q is hoping to get the drag in against someone and then global towards the top, but that isn't really working out. Was a nice attempt, didn't quite work out for them, and since Blaze is already dealing with the top, the Q now has to make his way over there, and that's exactly what happens. So they get maybe a bit of momentum at the bot lane initially, but they also suffer the consequences topside. And thanks to Zagara, the red team is already significantly pushing those structures down. First tower is down to 50% HP. Yeah, that is kind of getting nasty. Alright. Well, with that, we got topside currently, Morenas and Cure going up against each other once again. We also have on level 1 now the block party, where Zagara goes into the volatile acid as usual. I mean, she's tripping. And they already opened the side wall up, so that's pretty good for them. If they take the objective, I mean, honestly, at the pace this is going, they're going to take the entire wall. Look at Zagara just landing all of the Banelings there with ease. And they are taking this entire thing down. Big lead initially. The Donuts are pushing hard with this. And the entire time, Ixia is just sitting at the front, Lauber waiting for a slide if anybody is coming too close. And the creep spread is obviously pretty decent too. And look how the blue team is reacting. They're actually saying, like, guys, we're losing this lane anyways. Let's just send Genji up at the top at least and try to take one of the camps. And in the meantime, the Donuts just say, hey, if you are playing a 3 versus 4 against us, we are going to murder that bot lane even more. And Q has already double-checked what's happening at the top. You might have caught it on the minimap, but the Haka moved in, saw what's happening, so he already signaled the rest of the team, guys, I'm up against 2, so you can push against those 3, or you send someone towards the top to help me out here. But either way, the pressure is definitely coming from the Donuts at this point. And they are crushing that bot lane. I mean, holy moly. If they are able to take down that Fountain 2, that would be a huge win for them. Already with level 4 talents, we have them with the envenomed spines here. We have Genji now moving down. Multi-shot build obviously continues with 15 stacks that we already see for Vala. And the first objective is going to be announced in 2 seconds. So, yeah, that's a decent start for the Donuts. Now, in experience, there's not really a massive lead or anything. There's no kills yet, but if you look at the structural damage that has been done on the 2 lanes, you can clearly see that the Donuts are pulling ahead a bit here. And they could technically try and use that to crush the first few forts with the Immortal if they win it. Very, very easily. Could even go for a 2-pronged attack, have the Immortal move through 1, go on to the second, and see how much damage they can do with that. But either way, Farlander's already jumping out. Lauber threatening him here a little bit. And they are shifting their attention towards the top lane now, together with the camp that they have, trying to push this in even further, and might be able to take that wall down too. Now there's a bit of damage that's already done on the Immortal side, especially Hansa has moved down and is starting to fire away here, so that's good for them. The pressure play at the top continues, and the defense is there as the Donuts are attempting to, of course, save their own Immortal while they're doing damage down here. So Rutsu, he eats a lot of damage, by the way, but Ixia is there helping him out. The rest of the team is moving in as well. Zagara, already in position for this, gets a lot of damage out, and they're closing in on the halftime show. And they should be able to get this one. Yeah, Zagara with a few more Banelings will seal the deal here. And they're getting insanely close. Another setup from Skok, and that just should be it. Yeah, there we go. The drag on Tyrael, the slide, and he is dead. Tyrael is down, tries the explosion. Cure is dodging out on it. And, well, nicely done. So that's a huge opening for the Donuts now. Not only to get the first objective of the game, but also to pull ahead and destroy some of the structures here. Zagara is just murdering at this point. She is just doing work. Oh my god, what's the damage looking like for her? She's at 10,000. Vala's a little bit higher, but take a look at the siege damage. Zagara is currently at 31,000 siege damage. And compare that to the side laner. Compare that to Cure, who has been on the side lane the entire time. She's even outpacing his siege damage. Not by much, and he's now taking over at the bot lane, but still, that's pretty impressive. So the level 7 talents are now kicking in, and of course we're preparing for Mortal number 1 as it moves through the top lane. That's going to be the big push right here. Level 7 talents are available for both teams. Good for Team Ashe, so they have at least the same talent on the defense now. We get them with the augmented guard. And Zagara by now has the Baneling Massacre right here. And they are massacring that wall. Q is moving in too. They want another drag and he misses it. Pretty tricky actually to land that with the delay that he has. But they still get the kill against Tyrael. So good for them. And yeah, decent explosion by him. He's back in 9 seconds. But let's not mince words here. That fort at the top is toast. They can kiss that one goodbye. Once the Zagara pushes even further, it is going down, and the Immortal is already shredding it. They're trying to go for Farlander here, who's attempting to rush away, and he might not make it. Farlander is pretty low, and here comes Hanzo, the brotherly love, as the Shimadas are going up against each other, but he is able to escape. Now, Laowa is still sitting at the top. The Immortal has done a bit of damage towards the wall, and you already guessed it, the Donuts are moving down to the bottom of the map to try and take this one down too. So, yeah, things are looking good for the Donuts. But this game isn't over. Level 10 abilities are oftentimes changing things, and Vala is stacking nicely. That, on the other hand, is another setback for the blue team. They lose Blaze, and now the bot lane is completely opened up, and that allows Zagara to move in even further, and they are already doing work to the fountain itself. And even just taking the fountain down would be a huge win here. But they are dishing out the damage towards the fort. 44 stacks for Vala. That's the big... I mean, honestly, that's the biggest asset right now. Get Vala stacked properly, try to play around that, and you might have a chance in the late game. But here are the level 10 abilities, and with such a big gap on the experience, they can use that level 10 to easily take that fort down. I would be shocked if they don't destroy that fort. With how far ahead they currently are in experience and how long that gap is, or how long that lead with the heroic abilities is going to be available for them, this should be a destroyed fort for sure. And they are already starting to burst it down quickly. It's a 4 versus 4 at the bottom of the map. The solo laners are still topside. It's actually the Haka against Genji now, since Blaze is attempting to help out down here. But as you can tell, the fort falls, so does the fountain. The outer ring of defense is eliminated. And the Donuts are taking a big, big lead just before the second Immortal pops up on the map. Now, the only good news here for Team Ashe is that they will have their own level 10 to defend. That's pretty important, and we'll see what they can do with that. But the damage output is quite significant that we're seeing from the red team. And, they gotta be real careful. If they lose Tyrael now just before the objective spawns, then that would be a big problem. We have Judgment, by the way. They're going for Judgment. Level 13 is going to be interesting for Zagara as well. She has a spell shield there, and she should probably take that if she wants to be safe, or she's going to be the primary target of Genji and Tyrael. Arrow to the back line. There's the Judgment. They go for Zagara, but Tyrael finds himself in trouble too. Tranquility in the back line, but good isolation from Cure. He zones Malfurion out completely. Everybody dropping rather low for the blue team, but we have a couple of the heroes on the side of the Donuts also very low in HP, especially Zagara. 3 kills to 0, and both of the teams are just falling back once again, trying to just heal up at the Nexus, tap the fountain before they move back in. And we'll figure out who wins the next Immortal here. We already have the Hawk at the top, and that's of course a big setup that needs to be taken care of, and Genji is the one to move in to do exactly that. But that opens the opportunity for the Donuts up to move straight for the Immortal and win the halftime show, and they lock it in easy peasy. No problem for them at all. Nice Maw against Vala. Can they follow up? And the answer is no. They get some damage, but it's not enough. Good jet propulsion. Zagara in trouble. This could be the first kill. 6 hit points. And there it is. There she goes down. The kill. Vala locks it in. Genji gets eliminated, so it's a 4 versus 4, but that was still the first kill for Team Ashe. Yeah, and now, of course, the question, who wins objective number 2? Top side gets still pressured. This is still a bit of a problem. So they need to be careful here. Malfurion dies. Judgment. The arrow goes totally wide. Yeah, that's a North American arrow right there. And boom, down goes Blaze too. Narrowly missing the target. Hanzo doesn't lock this one in, but they still got their kills. Cure can now deal with the bot lane and can move in to defend this one easily against the camp. Level 13 talents will soon be available for them too. They lock the Immortal in. They have level 13 talents. What a fantastic setup now for the Donuts in this first round. And again, this is a tough team they're going up against. Team Ash has performed fairly well in the recent 3 qualifiers. We now have also the Spell Shield at level 13. That makes it a little bit harder for the blue team to take Zagara down, and it was already not easy to begin with. We have 31,000 damage by now, nearly 32 for Hanzo. Zagara is sitting at 28,000 damage, 60,000 siege damage. Vala at 39, by the way. She's top damage in the game. She's really stacking nicely on the level 1, but they just can't lock these kills in, and that's the problem. With a 2-level lead for the Donuts, and on top of that also the extra talent, things are not really all that easy anymore for Team Ash. It's actually really difficult to get a foothold here, especially with that drag and that slide. They're trying to go for the kill. Vala has already been mauled. They're trying to follow up on it, but of course the slide was already there from ETC. A little bit of damage is done. The keep is incredibly low, and with a bit of outside poke, it should be the first keep of the game that falls here. Judgment into the back line. They try for X here. Good Rain of Vengeance, but he's still alive, and ETC, moo, he makes them dance. They are going for the dance party. Ixia is finally down. Good multi-shot from Vala, but Genji dies again shortly after. Zagara is also dead. The keep has fallen. Only 3 surviving. Short distance arrow from Hanzo as he's trying to cover the retreat a little bit. Cure with another nice drag, this time against Blaze, and everybody else is just jumping away here. Cure trying to get out. Can they get Shamzik? They cannot. 7 kills to 3. The 2-level lead is sustained. Great job, though, by Team Ash to lock these kills in, to be aggressive, and they're trying for more. They're trying for Lauba here, but they can't quite get him. Now, the problem is that at the top lane, this has also done even more damage. So it's not only that we've seen some damage dished out at the bot lane against the keep, but the top is also starting to suffer. Level 16 is pretty close. It's half a level until the red team has it. And yeah, so they gotta be careful here too. Now, as I already mentioned, this is the first qualification tournament that the Donuts participate in. So for them, it's really about getting all these points. The entire tournament system, by the way, is set up in a way that even if you join the qualification tournaments late, you can still qualify for the playoffs if you are a decent team. So the fact that the Donuts haven't participated in 3 of the tournaments just yet doesn't mean much. They are a top team in Europe for sure. They should be able to qualify for the playoffs fairly easily if they participate in a couple of these tournaments, and they already showcase in round number 1 against an established team like Team Ash how good they are. The arrow connects, and that should be the kill against Genji. He survives though. Isolation hit him too, but they kept him alive. The maul was great though, and the second drag connects with Vala, and that's the end of her. Blaze dies too, and that's the Donuts just with a full onslaught here at the top lane as they go for keep number 2. They drop the 3rd one, and that looks like game. The call has been made though to fall back and go for the Immortal. Get the 100% Immortal and win it with that. Better safe than sorry. That's what they're going for right now. So they're trying this out. Should be an easy one for them. Vala with 82 stacks, 12 stacks for Blaze, meaning that he doesn't even complete the new habits. Obviously, this is a map where you only have 2 lanes. It's a bit more tricky for Blaze to complete his level 1 talent when you're playing on Battlefield of Eternity, especially given the fact that they did not win a single Immortal yet, where you get the additional 2 globes. So those were always lacking. But now it's a 5 versus 5 again. The blue team is desperately trying to defend here, but it's not working out. I, by the way, didn't really specifically talk about Vala and her build this time, but I feel if you watch this channel at all, then you know by now that arrow build is not mandatory anymore if you play Vala on this map. The multi-shot build is still very, very powerful. Gets played in Korea quite a bit on Battlefield of Eternity, and on Europe you see both builds happen. Genji goes down. Entire setup is still going strong here. The Immortal, of course, at 100%. Here comes the dance party. Lauber, yeah, trying to lock in the next kill, but it's Zagara that dies, so it's a 4 versus 4 now. The Immortal already on the way. The shield, by the way, has started to fall on the core because we have 2 catapults at the bot lane doing some damage too. They were just a second ago defeated by the minion waves, so that's good for them. But, yep, that Immortal is moving in. And we have more catapults coming through the bottom of the map. And of course another 2 already up at the top here. So with only 2 heroes surviving, this is not a good look now. Well, make it 1 for Team Ash. Fantastic setup by the Donuts. Nicely done here. Hanzo is dead too. Vala was able to get the kill against the Boboy, but the core is already falling and the outcome of this game is not in question anymore. This is absolutely unstoppable. Vala is trying to get at least some damage in and kill 1 or 2 more, but the Immortal is going to end this one for sure. A good drag here against Renella from Cure. He can't get the kill. Spray game is on point. But still, the kill comes through as Stukov hammers it home. And that is the first round victory for the Donuts as they move on to the second round of the qualifier.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Game number 2, we are in the second round of the 4th qualifier for the X Cup Summer, everyone. Team Cow Attack against the Donuts. It's the first tournaments that the Donuts participate in, and they already won against Team Ash in the first round. Good on them. We have them playing with Cure today, who's playing on the account Monka S, and Rutsu is playing on the account Bang. Now for Team Cow Attack there was a bit of a problem. They have to play with a sub player in this particular match. So we entered the lobby twice with Rutek, and then apparently he dropped out and lost his internet even. So they brought in a sub player they are playing with, Zeomech, in this particular match, and we'll see how that works for them. It was actually very, very quick, so they had him already on standby, as it seems, and asked him immediately, hey, can you jump in? And no hesitation there. But just so you guys know that the blue team is playing with a sub for now. Now, for the Donuts, it is quite important that they are going far in the tournament. As mentioned before, it's the first qualifier they participate in. The way this system works is that the farther you go in the tournament, the better you perform, the more points you accumulate throughout all the tournaments, and the top 8 at the end of the season will make it into the X Cup Summer Playoffs. So, where they play for 4,000 euro of prize money. And again, in case you don't know the story, the X Cup Summer is privately financed by a Heroes of the Storm fan that was a big Heroes of the Storm fan and player already in Alpha, has watched HGC before HGC and just continuously, and is now giving back and supporting the community here. Wants to stay anonymous, and therefore X Cup, since we have the Mr. X financing the entire thing. Yeah, we got also Tyrande in, so Ixia is playing that again. Tyrande still, I have still a little bit, yeah. Like, I don't know, Tyrande is still a hero that I have some stomach pains with. If you are dominating, though, in the game, that she can be great. She's also, of course, good for a lot of stuff that is happening here. Can interrupt, for example, the channel on the Dragonite in the middle. If you get any kind of stun set up against her, you can blow a target away very, very quickly. Her problems are still the same. She doesn't have a lot of mobility, and she's also very, very squishy. So if you can put pressure on her, you can easily take her down, and that's what you have to do, because she offers a lot in terms of kill potential, but she has a lot of weaknesses that can be exploited, and the only question is always, can you exploit those weaknesses? She is a pretty fun hero, though, that can combo off with others like Muradin, and just any pre-stun hero really, really well, and that's dangerous for the opponent. Now we have a little bit more here too. We got Vala in play, we have Stitches, and we have Anduin. So, yeah. Already got that. That's a pretty decent setup with especially Stitches, of course, being a bit of a nuisance for Tyrande right at the get-go, because if that hook lands, then whew, she's gonna have some problems. Okay. Also, Tyrande, by the way, she's still the Karen of Heroes of the Storm. I mean, you just have to look at the hair color, and that's already confirmed. She always wants to talk to the manager. And Uberak and Urel are both in, so they go for the old-school Korean combo with Anub and Urel both able to jump in. A little bit of displacement. Cocoon can be used whenever Stitches hits home with his hook. Well, it's at least one option, especially if Stitches goes into Gorge. And, well, what else are we getting here? We have our last 2 picks coming in for the blue team. Our sub player for Cow Attack has not picked yet. And of course, we got Richu in as well, who still needs to pick here. And it's Tracer! Tracer and Sonya! Okay, things just got interesting. Very interesting. Now, Tyrande is kind of interesting in the sense that she can actually put the Hunter's Mark on Tracer, and that makes Tracer a lot more vulnerable. But obviously, Tracer wants to take Tyrande down whenever she gets a chance. And the birdie is also on the menu. So Tracer has a couple of targets here. We'll see how that's going to work for them. But, yep. Let's see what the last pick is going to be here for Rutsu. And Dragonshire, our best of one, and it is Maiev. Awesome. Good stuff. So, ladies and gentlemen, game on. Dragonshire coming up between Cow Attack and the Donuts. Cow Attack against the Donuts. Well, Donuts clearly the favorite in this one, especially, of course, since Team Cow Attack has to play with a sub. But he definitely has the confidence. Zeomech is playing Tracer for the team with a parting gift on level 1. We got Arion playing Vala. Richu is playing Sonya. Cesabos on Anduin. The Polish team with Uniden on Stitches. And on the right side of the map, Rutsu on Maiev. We got Laubon on Uburak. Monka S, aka Cure, is playing Yrel. Ixia on Tyrande. And Skog is playing Falstad these days, obviously, with the Gathering Storm as the setup on level 1. And with that, we can get the party started and see what the teams can pull off here. On level 1 already, we got the Patchwork Creation. We have the multi-shot setup for Vala as usual. And, yep. What else are we getting here? Five stacks immediately on the Gathering Storm. So off we go. A little bit of a hit coming in. Careful. Cesabos. And he's down immediately. Taken apart by Tyrande. Yeah, Tyrande is still a little bit of an enigma. She can be extremely powerful if you have an aggressive team and you are running the show. But once that you're falling behind, Tyrande can very, very quickly become a liability. So we've seen her... Oh, Lauba, that was a little bit too short. That was not a stun, but they still get the kill, don't they? Yeah, they are playing a farming simulator right now. Back in the day, what you saw with Tyrande, for example, was her paired off with Muradin. And it was literally called Miranda, because the combo was just so popular. And all they would do in the early game, especially on a map like this one, they would just roam the map, get the stun in from Muradin, the follow-up from Tyrande as a second stun, and then just getting the damage in using the Hunter's Mark to just blow everything to pieces. But this is already a fantastic opening here for the Donuts. I mean, are you kidding me? 2 kills to 0. They took the first tower down. Cure is obliterating their top lane, and now they're going for the camps too. It doesn't get much better than that, so really, really good opening for the red team. Now, they are, of course, one of the favorites for the tournament. And it's actually a very interesting bracket too, because what we would see quite soon is in the semifinal, if everything goes as well planned as you would expect, then in the semifinal we would see the Donuts against the Hardos. And I have to stress it again, the Hardos have participated in all 3 tournaments so far, and they've won every single one of them. It got a bit close in the last one, in the third one. They lost the map in the grand final. But they still decided the series in their favor and have now 30 points in the leaderboard and are sitting in the #1 spot. But the Donuts, they could change all of this. And boy, are they chasing. Rutsu doesn't stand a chance. Yeah, they're body blocking, they're getting the kill, and they're going for the fort. Guys, this is getting rough over here. The blue team is trying to push a bit at the bottom of the map, and to be fair, they do some damage here. They took a tower down, and they get a bit more. But in the meantime, the fort top side is falling, and they are just looking fantastic. Yeah, Team Cow Attack, they are strong, don't get me wrong. These guys are actually quite good. But first of all, they're playing with a sub today. And even if that sub player is a good player, there's certain synergy that is still just gonna be missing that you normally have with your real teammates. But the bigger problem is that the Donuts are also, of course, on a very different level most of the time. Good hook against Tyrande, but, well, she's still able to get out. There was no follow-up here. There was no damage dealer, or it could have been a kill for the blue team. But now we're looking at the potential first Dragonite. Birdie gets attacked a little bit. Yeah, Tracer also in trouble. Cure always threatening, now channeling, and Sonya is too late. So we see the Dragonite in the middle, and they are starting to use the Dragon's Breath here. Again, a little bit of a PSA. If you get an early game Dragonite, you don't necessarily need to attack these structures. Look at what Cure is doing. He's just standing in range. He uses the Dragon's Breath whenever the ability is ready, and that's all that he does. Don't YOLO that away. He doesn't have a lot of hit points early on. All that you want to do is use the Dragon's Breath, take the minions down, take the structures down, and make sure that your opponent has to send a couple of heroes into whichever lane you are in to defend against you. Nice coordination here around Tracer. Recall didn't do anything for her, so that's a kill, and they're pushing through the bot lane even further. That's 5 kills to 0 now, and a 1.5 level lead that we're talking about. Yeah, very, very good setup. Entire wall has been destroyed. Falstad at the top is also pushing in. Richo is sitting tight, and the party continues as at the bottom of the map they go for Lauber, and the cockroach gets hooked and survives. X here with Tyrande heals it up. Now we have Vala in trouble. She goes down. Cure mercilessly takes her apart. We have Stitches falling too. The big boy is down for the count. Cure still alive, and they're going for another fort. It is an absolute steamroll that we're seeing here. An avalanche as the donuts are eating them alive. They're going through the outer ring of defense like hot butter through cheese. These guys show absolutely no mercy here today, even stealing the siege giants away. Falstad is now nearly done with the 30 stacks, but yeah, the setup is just incredible. Yeah, that's rough going for Team Cow Attack. They made it through the first round, and now they are 2 levels behind. And they're, of course, also behind the heroic ability, which makes matters worse because it means that they won't be able to fight for quite a long time. The map, therefore, belongs to the Donuts. They have full on map control here. If the objective pops up, they should be able to lock it in. And that's why Team Cow Attack is currently attempting as best they can to soak the experience to make sure that they are getting level 10 abilities to defend against the next Dragonite. And we got a Hinterland Blast, everybody! Oh yeah, with the stun setups around Tyrande, we get a Hinterland Blast today. There we go. Full on. The shock and awe of old. And they're going to try and use that. And look at that double push at the bottom of the map. They have 2 camps here, and with the level 10 ability, they can easily open this one up. And if they commit, they're gonna get that keep. With a double camp, I mean, are you kidding me? We're 6 minutes into the game and they're going for the keep. 6 minutes in the game and the keep is gone. Leap is in, the light bomb as well. The blue team is getting hyper aggressive with this one now. On the level 10, we got the pulse rounds. And Zeomek is trying his best here to at least take someone down or be a bit aggressive around it. Dodges out on the stun, gets welcomed by the birdie and barely makes it out. But that got dangerous. Now, top side, a bit of damage against the fort, but Cure is already here on the lane and can take control of the shrine so that they might even go for another Dragonite. Vala is dead, just gets popped like a pimple. Easy kill against her with the stun from Manubarak. The Cocoon in the backline is isolating them. They're going for Tracer and they take her down. The follow-up kill against Sonya doesn't make it any better. Here comes Skog. And he gets some damage in. He doesn't have Gust, though. He also has no mana. So he still flies in and applies some pressure. Dragonite has, in the meantime, been taken by Cure in the middle of the map. But there's the hit. The follow-up stun. 10 kills to 0. 13 to 10. And oh my god. Oh, brutal. Savage. Wrecked. The Donuts, they are crushing them. Team Cow Attack. I'm still not 100% certain how exactly that team name came to pass. There's a couple of wild theories out there. One of them is that if you're tipping a cow and it goes wrong, it results in a cow attack. That might be true. But yeah. Hashtag Dorfkinder. So, Dragonite, number 2. All the forts are already gone. We're 7-8 minutes into the game. And yep, this is rough. Again, Donuts, they are powerful. These guys are super strong. They're one of the favorites in all of this. It's going to be interesting if they make it all the way to meet the Hardos. Richo even has to leap as he needs to jump out there. And the Dragonite also gets popped. But now they have a 3-level lead. It's incredible. It's absolutely ridiculous. These guys are crushing it. Look at the damage difference here too. I mean, Maiev on the 22,000. Siege damage for Cure is at 100,000 right now. 100,000 at this point. Yeah, he's been dominating that top lane pressure by a lot. Now, with the keep already gone at the bottom of the map, it of course means that if you set these camps up once again, or you get a Dragonite later on in the game, you can try and aim for the core directly. But you could also attempt to just control the map even further by taking a few more keeps down and have the catapults push while you're trying to go for another Dragonite. Either way, they have the map control. Level 15 is also ready for the red team, so they're closing in on level 16 already. So top side, Cure, he's controlling the experience there. And it's an impressive performance by the Donuts. Now, the caveat is, of course, the sub-player, Zyomeg. And I'm not trying to single him out here and blame this on him by any means, but as explained before, if you have to play with a sub, it means that you have to play with someone that doesn't quite know what you're doing all the time, that isn't quite on the call. Maybe it's not quite like in the know, okay, with the calls, whatever you want to do here. So obviously he's doing his best at this point, and he's been trying to take some of the targets down, but it's still always a little bit different. Hinterland Blast doesn't connect with anything. That one didn't hit jack shit. Now we got level 16 against level 13, but Team Cow Attack, they are struggling this week. Now they're trying to, of course, bring this back, but this is a small miracle would have to happen for them to turn this around. Good leap though, maybe the opening here, but no, the turn against Sonya is immediate. They take her down, Putric Bile, good hook, and that illustrates the problem with Tyrande right here. If you isolate her, then she is gonna be dead. She doesn't have the escape tools, she doesn't have the survivability, but if you control the game, then of course it's a different story. The kill against Tracer as they chase her down, 12 kills to 1. I mean, at least they got the Tyrande kill, right? Denied the perfect game, so good for them. And off we go. We got another hook coming. The birdie is already at the top, so now they can go for another Dragonite, and they already have the top lane more or less destroyed. So the keep takes a bit of damage. Dragonite is in, and let's go and burn everything to cinder, baby. That's the moment right here. What do we get? We got already... yeah, they're going for the middle now. They're already starting to take down the wall here. Again, Dragon's Breath, absolutely crucial. Good hook against Maiev. Oh, the leap follow-up, that's a kill. The leap follow-up on the hook, I like it. Good job. Nicely done, and that was well coordinated by Team Cow Attack. The second kill for them, but still the keep takes damage. The cocoon again stitches. They're trying to go for Ixia again. Tyrande is already moving in, but the keep is not gone yet. Oh, the Hinterland Blast, and no! Cure pushed them out and gets immediately spam pinged. Yeah, justified spam ping on Cure as he pushes the targets out of the Hinterland Blast, going full on NA synergy over here. Cure, how could you? How could you? That was Falstad's big moment that he just denied. Level 16 talents are soon going to be ready for Team Cow Attack. Cure at the top. They still have a 2-level lead, so they're heavily ahead here. And of course, as this game continues, as the catapults scale, this bot lane is becoming even more of a threat to the blue team. Okay, they're trying to also steal the camp away here. Keep in mind, Maiev is now back and can make her way over. Cure jumps in, they take the camp. Where did Sonya just leap? Did he just miss the leap? Wait, what? Okay, I'm gonna take another look at that. Because I don't know what just happened here. So Sonya leaps. Sonya leaped on the point. She leapt on the point. So apparently the idea was to leap over and start to attack the camp, and that backfired quickly. I was like, what the hell? Okay, so yeah, I heard you, whoa, and it was like, where did he go with that? Did he escape? But he wasn't under threat, so what was going on there? So yeah, someone kind of misclicked a little bit. Yeah, that was unfortunate. But yeah, either way. Now the bot lane gets attacked too. As they're pushing through with a double camp. Is that a double? Is that a triple? That's a double camp. The next shrine is also activating. I guess Falsa could fly in. I don't think they're going to go for the core here. Nah, they're going to go for the objective. At least they should. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, a little bit of a misclick here from Rutsu. Unfortunately for him, the replay system caught it. But yeah, I guess someone went for the Alt-R. Either way, we got the top keep also taking significant damage. I told you, those catapults are going to be a nuisance. And of course, Q is chipping in some damage too. Level 20 talents are inevitable, therefore. Maybe they can get a kill down here. No, not quite. Does he have the Hinterland Blast? He used it already. But they want to get the Dragonite, and indeed they do. Cure with another one. Something tells me that Cure would like to be a dragon. Oh! Yeah, he dodged that one too, but there's the hook, and that's a kill. Maiev is down. Bang, bang. And that's a dead Maiev and a dead Rutsu. So they already go for Vala, they take her down, she's dead too, but the fight continues and the blue team isn't looking good. They are really low. They are very, very low. Another kill, easily taken apart. Cesar Boss is on the run. Anduin is doing what he does best. He's running away, going for the French defense, but this time even he was... Oh my god! Tyrande, Tracer just got an ass kicked. I mean, that was an easy kill. Falstad flying in again. They go for another one. Stitches gets dropped too. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is obviously a game. Nicely done by the Donuts. They take the win in the second round of the fourth qualifier for the X Cup Summer and move on to the next series, which I think is already... We're already looking at the semifinals here. So we're looking at a best of 3 that is coming up next for the Donuts as they try to accumulate as many points as possible in their first qualifier. GG and well played.